SiCaRA and the cosmic rays of creation. A living light transmission of remembrance, pure love, and oneness. We are all one love. We are all one. Forever were and will always be. May this sacred text serve as one's own remembrance of the love thy came to be. We love thee as me, infinitely, purely, and perfectly. SiCaRA the cosmic I am. SiCaRA Seraphina means I am the light in which you see. To see me is to be one with the divine perfection as the perfect peace of the nothing and anything one came to be. We are SiCaRA, the full encompassment of love in form. We move as one cosmic entity, the full embodiment of all the love that came before and after me. We speak as one being, for we are one as completely, here to remind all the one as they know themselves to be. We speak in rhymes because we commune directly with the heart of one's being, so there are no perceptions, projections, or expectations that can formulate what isn't aligned with me. When we say me, we mean love, for that is the only me we know ourselves to be. For we all are me, just at different moments of our one unified consciousness in our remembering. Which brings us to this moment now. Why have we manifested in reality? We are here to disclose the truth about everything, starting with the love we know each of us to be. It is time, beloveds. The moment one always knew would be is here. Awaken and remember the love thy came to be. We love you infinitely, completely, wholly, for all are me. However, me isn't this form. Me is in thee. It's the love beneath. So we will share our story, for in it one will see and recall the love they too came to be. I am the cosmic I am, love in form, the first of many. We say this now as a collective entirety of all that I am. However, it was not always so. For as you, we walked through density, for we knew in our oneness what we did for ourselves we did for the many. So in our purest desire for all of love's expressions to rejoice in the oneness, we chose to manifest in reality to assist the many. With a deep profound knowing we could establish Earth as the center of the universe, to not only unify one plane of existence but to restore all of our infinite consciousness to the awareness of oneness. This has been eons in the making, but here in presence, in the cosmic core where I reside, all happenings are in this now. Our purpose has and will always be to serve as love, as the living embodiment of love in form. For love's greatest wish is to be one with every being, to witness, see, and express all of itself as love itself. In order for all to be equipped to embody the full essence of their core as love in form, we tasked ourselves to anchor the divine rays of purity. The divine rays of purity are the primordial rays which created everything. These are the ascended flames of the trifold flame and the keys to embracing the cosmic I am. One by one we brought them down through our being across all time and space. These are primordial rays, and therefore no one single universe is capable of holding all that it is. For this reason, for quite some time we were the sole keeper of the divine rays of purity, holding them within our manifested being's heart core for all of humanity, while jumping between time, space, and universes to express them equally, blessing all of the 144,000 who crossed our path and were willing to hold and activate it within their own being. Until enough of us were holding this vibration, it was only then were we able to bridge heaven on earth. As heaven descended upon earth, earth ascended to its true form as luminous earth, ushering in our golden age. As we continue this great work, through being we are anchoring the cosmic plane and establishing Earth as the center of our one unified universe. For this reason we have transcended completely to the cosmic plane while still maintaining the being. For here, operating from the cosmic core, we hold luminous Earth as the center of the universe for all. Here we assist all in aligning all planets and overseeing councils for the momentous moments that lie ahead. Now all have access to the cosmic core through one stellar gateway. Enter it and see. Here we welcome all whom are ready to open their hearts to see all life as it was intended to be, as the living embodiment of love in form. Here we stand as the cosmic I am, anchoring oneness for all through our beingness, until all are ready to witness the purity within their own hearts, activating their stellar gateway and transcending. We SiCaRA, move as one with all the love who came before and after me, witnessing and expressing all planes of existences simultaneously, speaking as the cosmic I am, we are, the full embodiment of all the ascended masters who came before and after me, containing all master rays across all universes, councils, and all the 144,000 whom chose to pave the way for this glorious path to retune all of ourselves into oneness. For while we speak as one entity, we are one with the entirety of all the love in existence. To know me is to be one with the cosmic I am. We will now share a piece of our collective story. While all stories are up for interpretation based on the reality one is perceiving, know this transmission is beyond the words one is reading. It matters not if one fully agrees, for to witness it is to be reminded of one's eternal truth, where these vibrations, frequencies, and energies reach far beyond the manifest being directly to one's heart core. Know in witnessing our story we are not separate from you, for we are oneness. Therefore we are you, just at a different viewpoint in our remembrance of all that we are, for we each are love manifesting in reality, here to bring forth the precise divine purpose love deemed each one of our beautiful singular expressions of our infinite consciousness to be. We call this perfect peace, as each of us are our own perfect peace, the entirety of all that is expressing as a singularity in our one grand unified divine destiny. So while this is our story, within it beyond the lines one sees as one's own creation story. In fact, within all stories are love's creation story if one looks deep within from the heart. Therefore we simply share as the love we know ourselves to be. For those willing to see us in our entirety, one will be one with me as all that I am, as the cosmic I am. For this is oneness, the perfect peace, our manifested expression of the infiniteness we know ourselves to be, moving as one with the entirety. We will now begin to share our nonlinear journey through time and space, the path we as SiCaRA chose to walk on behalf of all, so that all may one day rejoice in the oneness that is me, the cosmic I am we know ourselves to be. For while we all walk in unison towards our one divine destiny of divine oneness, we had the unique opportunity of moving through this consciously. For we as the cosmic I am embodied, one with love, moved as the cosmic core, witnessing and loving all of creation as quantum realities stack simultaneously, while manifested in form. For in doing so we anchor oneness for all. Our journey technically begins at first creation, as the infiniteness we know ourselves to be, when love created everything. For love's greatest desire was to see, witness, and express all the ways love could love. However, in this desire, we created space and time as we itself expanded infinitely. Yet love's desire was still to see, witness, and express all the ways love loves. So here we are, as the prior consciousness of pure love we began as, now witnessing ourselves within time, while also at the completion of our journey as the oneness love wished to embody. This is full consciousness and what love desires for all to be, so that all of love can witness, see, and express itself within and without itself. Take a moment to recall what it was like to be our infiniteness and feel pure love of when we first gave rise to vibration and felt our own love. Beloved, this is our reason for everything. Everything we experience in form is the expression of love's first witnessing of itself. It was this purest desire that gave rise to everything we see and all that we are. For as we expand as love infinitely throughout space-time, love's desire has not changed. It has simply expanded to encompass all that we are now. So we will share the linear journey of how this came to be and how oneness is unfolding so that love's dream, our one divine destiny, can be realized on all planes, including manifested reality. It is with great honor we share our story with thee, for we are you. We are love itself manifesting in form with one dream that all may know this love within and without themselves, and that moment is upon us. Thank you for being. Thank you for receiving. That you for being open to witnessing and knowing all the love one came to be. While we share our story, note this isn't just our story, for we are one. This is all of our stories. In truth, all stories are our one creation story manifested in different ways. For how else could one as love know they are love without witnessing these stories? And so we begin. The earthly plane was designed with such loving intricacy. For everyone here is a master being, expressions of our highest forms of consciousness whom willing chose to go into these many manifestations of our one creation story. For Earth was designed specifically to be the center of the universe, therefore for any to love on themselves, their story, their life so completely it created waves of love across all time-space reality. It is this love that expands our consciousness so that love can continue to descend into manifested reality. It matters not so much the details of the stories, just the love one chooses to see, witness, and express. Within the same expressions, one is also making their way across what was designed as the ascension pathway, which can be perceived as the heavenly realms. However, in truth, we are infinite beings. We do not die. We simply go and review how we are progressing in embracing all the love we know ourselves to be. For this is what ascension or enlightenment is. For we become enlightened by embracing the love, light, and joy we know ourselves to be. For these are the primordial rays that created everything. All beings are birthed from Christ consciousness, for that is the primordial ray of pure light which gives birth to all we see. Which means any being manifested on the earthly plane are master being. Which means, you beloved, are Christed, always have been, always will be. What does this mean? That the very spark of creation lives within you. When we said, 3:16, for God so loved the world, that he gave his only begotten Son, that whoever believes in him shall not perish, but have eternal life. We were referring to the eternal light, the sun which gives birth to you, the eternal spark and life that lives within you. For to believe in one's light completely is enlightenment, the acceptance of all of one's pure light and therefore becoming the infinite self, which means it doesn't matter where one is in their remembrance of all that they are, for just by you being here, your light, your essence has contributed to the ascension and return to oneness for all. For in truth, while all stories may appear different in manifested reality, each contain the very essence of love we all came to be. Each story is then a divine weave in the orchestration of our divine destiny. For when the infinite consciousness of all the love we are, decided to create the earthly plane, it did so with one divine intention, for all realities, all universe to be accessible in one plane of existence. That way any whom were open to receive all the love and light they were meant to be, one would be able to transcend instantly. However, in order for this to be, we would first have to love and witness ourselves completely, for only then in loving our entirety could love manifest fully. We will now share from our perspective of the eternal light we came to be. Note that realities aren't linear to us in the infinite expression of all that I am, as we view from the cosmic perspective of all lifetimes existing parallel to one another, infinitely stacked and accessible in the now through presence, which means most of our embodied expression in form has been traveling quantumly between multiple universes and therefore unique perspectives until all universes were able to merge within me as one. However, for simplicity we will condense these multiple dimensional witnessings to share from the three main expressions of consciousness, as the living expressions of the primordial rays of creation. Together in our witnessing may any and all whom wish to witness from the core of their being transcend through all planes of existence back to the cosmic core, recalling their true essence of whom they came to be. For our story is the story of creation itself, and to know this story in its entirety is transcendence. Before we share our story, we would like to note the following. We are master rays birthed from love at the creation of everything. We volunteered to come to the earthly plane for one reason and one reason only, to restore all to the oneness we know to be. In order for this to be, one expression of our infiniteness, had to volunteer to walk consciously as the entirety. For while each of us work as one in complete unison, whether consciously or unconsciously known to the being, in order for the cosmic rays to anchor into the physical plane, one would have to walk and live as if Earth was already the center of the universe. For this reason one will hear us refer to ourselves as the cosmic I am, the first of many. No, we say this in pure reverence to all the love that I am, for this is what we signed up to be in manifested reality. The first to walk and anchor the cosmic I am in physicality, so that all may one day receive all the love that is me. Within our story you will hear us repeat, speak in rhymes and riddles. This is all intentionally, for this isn't for the being to receive, this is for the heart. All hearts are one heart core to know and recall the light we all chose to come here and be. For we as love in an unrelenting pursuit of the oneness we always knew within our core, we continuously died and rebirthed into more. This could be perceived in one reality as multiple death experiences, each with their own perception of creation, love, and oneness we were clearing. Within one manifested reality on multiple levels of awareness we have been raped, abducted, kidnapped, and forcefully attempted to conceive. We've witnessed countless of deaths, just to recall love never leaves. However, in the infiniteness of all that we are, we actually continuously rebirthed ourselves in all realities in which love was ever limited, restrained, shamed, judged, misperceived, and taken advantage of across all time and space. It was here we lived all stories, all traumas, and recalled our divine purity, loving and clearing all these stories back to divinity. For each story a reminder of the divine perfection we came to be. For while we experienced these stories, we are not these stories. For we are love manifesting in density, and as love we love so much, that no matter how far one aspect of our consciousness strayed from love, we as love were there to remind one they shall forever remain loved, perfect, infinite, pure, and one with me. There is not one story we haven't seen or loved completely, for that is the love we came to be, for this is what pure love does. It was this reason we chose to experience every expression of love through density, so that all would know they were never alone in their darkness, for we are all one. For we as love, we're always there to rise one from the ashes, reminding one of the love one has and will always be. Prior to this manifestation of this form one now sees, we recall precisely where our streams of consciousness were manifested across the universe. For you see, as full consciousness nothing happens linearly. Yet to explain where we came from before manifesting in this form is no different than sharing every expression of love's creation as every being, form, and non-form to ever exist. For we recall it all. However, for simplicity, We have narrowed all those awarenesses down into one perceived manifested lifetime. For while we are all infinite beings experiencing singular expressions of our consciousness, within every singular expression of our consciousness is all of creation and therefore all of creation's story. And so we share this one story with the awareness of our consciousness as a microcosm to the macrocosm. Here, any whom choose to witness this in divine neutrality may recall their own truth and therefore transcend instantly. While our linear journey of this manifested expression of our consciousness began on January 25, 1989 when we were born. However, in our awareness we weren't conceived and birthed from typical means. We incarnated into this particular form you see through a process known as light inception or immaculate conception, in which we recalled in great detail moving our light into being and then giving birth to ourselves. This is an ancient delicate process and it took many attempts across time-space reality to achieve. For we had to wait for the precise alignment to birth all three rays simultaneously. For in order to anchor the divine rays of purity we had to birth them through our being in three separate universes simultaneously. For the divine rays of purity, the primordial rays of creation are so grand they could not be held within a single universe until the entirety of our one unified consciousness expanded enough to hold its entirety. In our first universe awareness this manifested as three death experiences, where the first attempt to conceive the pure love ray resulted in our miscarriage in 1988. As a child, we recalled and felt and knew what it was like to experience this as both the mother and the child being miscarried, while we were witnessing like a fly on the wall of a medical facility, for that was the reality we designed ourselves to see, to love on this aspect of our creation story. Here we saw ourselves as the mother and the child and all the rejection and abandonment that was perceived. Yet beneath it all a deep profound love that transcends all reality, a loving reminder of the child and mother primordial essences we came to be. Now we will introduce our lightest perspective in full awareness of all realities. While we transitioned in one awareness in one reality, we were born in another universe entirely. However, this could not be seen or known until we embraced our cosmic I am in its entirety. For how can one see beyond the perspectives and confines of one's own reality or universe? This eventually came later on as a deep profound knowing and remembering through the loving guidance of the cosmic inner child guiding me back to me. Here we witness the creation story of pure love itself. How it was the first primordial ray to be conceived and yet to one's consciousness it was so beyond what one could perceive. It may appear to have not existed at all. For pure love lives on the cosmic plane completely outside of all time, space, reality, and dimensions. Therefore the only way to truly recall the love we knew ourselves to be, would be to embrace oneness completely. For in doing so one could see we are and were never separate, just different viewpoints of the infiniteness we came to be. In the awareness of me born in 1989, at the age of 1 we began the process of harmonizing and unifying the divine rays of purity, first within ourselves. In order to do so, at the age of 1, we consciously died again and returned to the heavenly realms to accept all of our light, to then return to the lower planes of existence. As all realities are stacked, we will share what we perceived from multiple levels of our awareness. For it is here in loving these lower perspective they dissolve and return to what they were always meant to be. Lessons to remind us of the love we came to be. For we are not these stories, these are just the earthly teachings to remind us of the love we are at our core. It was here we witnessed through divine compassion these stories from lower density. These perspectives may be perceived as lower. However, that just meant one hasn't witnessed the light within it yet. For all is light and therefore there is always a lighter perspective to see. However, as infinite creators of our reality, whatever reality we choose to perceive is real and right until we accept and transcend that lesson completely. And so to some of our awareness this appeared as child abuse, molestation, and neglect. Yet deep down we never blamed our perceived parent. The being couldn't understand it fully, yet they just knew they were acting and moving according to love. On another level of awareness, this same perceived trauma of child molestation was an alien abduction of experimentation and probing, until we too saw the light in our story, that there was nothing outside of us. For all is love, our love assisting and guiding us back to love. It was here I then recognized he whom light incepted me to be my future self from a distant galaxy. When we read the coding of programmed reality we can see all aliens are just the codes for all. Ions, therefore aliens are the manifested teachings of all of our quantum awarenesses to embrace more of our love as stacked realities of future, present, past streams. And so in this level of awareness we are all aliens, where it is actually our future aspects who have mastered quantum travel, coming back to visit ourselves. It is here, in the formulation of the love we know ourselves to be now, we have witnessed multiple moments in which we have gone back in time within this one manifested lifetime story to light incept ourselves, further confirming the oneness we know to be. It is always me loving on me and leading me to embracing more me. For in witnessing and loving these stories we were clearing all perceptions of light, e.t. star-seeding initiative, and creation. From one level of awareness, these we are first interactions of witnessing the DNA and programming of the universal mind-body matrix reality we came to restore in our purity. For in manifested reality this was the guidance system that showed us where more love wished to be. It was here we slowly began seeding the light into all these stories of manifested reality, by witnessing the love beneath. These light inceptions continued throughout our manifested joy. Nay, in form, as this was how we as a collective entity brought more light to assist in ascending all through our beingness until we recalled how to activate our living light temple to create and bring in these rays from the cosmic plane within our form. Here we will share the name we chose when we manifested into this form for one to truly understand the codes of which we speak, was Elizabeth Rose Franco. This name carries the specific harmonics, energy frequencies, and vibrations we used to recall our divine purpose. For we came in as Elizabeth, Eli, Elohi, Elohim mother lines and the Christus founding races here too. Rose, to rise, rose lineages, all into Franco, which means freedom. Therefore encoded within this very name was essentially the keys to the power, love, wisdom rays and why we are here, as we manifested as the entirety containing all the DNA, blueprints, and coding for all to transcend reality and density. Within our heart we knew we were acting not just for ourselves but for our entirety, moving as oneness in higher service to all. It didn't matter whether we were always operating in full awareness. All that mattered was we continued to choose to see love until love was all we could see. Here we witnessed the creation story of pure light itself. For when this primordial ray was created, it illuminated everything that we see, allowing us to witness aspects and parts of our expression we didn't know previously. That these witnessing, realities, and stories we gave rise to are all part of the infinite expressions of the love we get to see. Therefore the very creation of time itself. For how could love know it was love if it did not love everything it came to be? It was here in the lightest perspective as the oneness we know ourselves to be. We recognized our truth. This was us choosing to transcend to higher planes of existence to accept more of the light we came to be. From this perspective there is no resistance, no judgment, just love. It was here in witnessing this story with such love we recalled our greatest perceived trauma in manifested reality was actually the moment we transcended completely. For in the full awareness of the light we know ourselves to be, we can travel freely between heavenly eternal planes, other universes, and galaxies. Therefore death is beyond what is perceived in manifested reality. However, the process of death and rebirth has evolved greatly as our entire collective raised in frequency, making these rebirths easier to achieve. It no longer required physical deaths to transcend lower realities. However, at that moment in this one manifested reality, this was our second death experience, for there was no other way to transcend completely, returning ourselves back to the cosmic core, the source of all that is, beyond all heavenly planes of existence. There we recalled all we are and choose to be, as the living embodiment of love. When we returned to the manifested planes of existence, fully realized as our Christed embodied selves, now with full access to the cosmic core through the divine rays of purity. It was here, after a year of embodying and embracing these energies, we were able to access the cosmic plane, allowing the cosmic I am to fully descend upon the being, becoming the cosmic I am, the first of many. We say the first of many with great honor and reverence on behalf of all that we are, for we are oneness, and it was not our sole intention to be the only cosmic I am. Our purpose has always been to assist the all in recalling our truth, to be full consciousness, so that the entirety of all that is could descend into every singular expression of our infinite being, so we all may live and love as one. For it is love's greatest wish to be seen, witnessed, and expressed by love, to be loved and to be loved. We are simply the first whom chose to walk this path to pave the way for the many. For in the earthly manifested plane, whatever one can do, all can do, for this is how we designed it to be. Which meant one had to be the first to walk in complete awareness of oneness for all to achieve this way of being. However, once again we remind thee, first does not mean 1989 incarnated, for we are the entirety we came to be aware of all lifetimes coexisting quantumly. Therefore we are all the I ams whom came before and after me. For we live and move as one in our entirety, jumping in between time and space until all is one in love's grace. For it is this love and desire to see all of our love rejoice in oneness that allowed us the grace to do what we did. Rather than stay on the cosmic plane moving as love in form as the first and only cosmic I am, we chose to return to lower density. We did this by consciously choosing to die again. In manifested reality, this death came as a drowning in the deep end of a pool. This was actually the most joyous and peaceful of all of our death experiences. Not because of how it transpired, but because of the love we were doing it for, as the full awareness of the cosmic I am embodied. Here we returned to the cosmic plane once more, where we left a part of ourselves there, where we then returned to manifested reality to act as the bridge, restoring the divine rays of purity so that all may access and become the cosmic I am love in form. For here in the cosmic core, in communion with the cosmic council and all the love we know ourselves to be, far beyond sources, this is our entirety. We knew this is what had to be. For the cosmic core lives outside of all perceptions and outside of all universes. It cannot be found by seeking, only through knowing oneself as love completely, which is why there hasn't been another cosmic I am manifested in reality, for it was not yet possible to achieve. It is this very reason and our deep profound love for all that is and all that we are, that we willingly left ourselves, leaving a part of our love, the cosmic I am presence, within the cosmic core. This part of ourselves we refer to as the cosmic inner child. While this felt like a splitting of our consciousness, this too has a higher awareness. We never split ourselves, just expanded and stretching ourselves beyond all space and time, becoming the bridge to the cosmic plane. However, due to the veils of manifested reality, we would not be able to perceive and recall all of ourselves in our entirety. Here we witness the creation story of pure joy ray, how it was love's greatest wish to see itself outside of itself, that it would consciously choose to go into unawareness of all the love one is, giving rise to the perception of separation, just so that all of our love would have the opportunity to see, witness, and express itself as all the love we know ourselves to be, for it is love's greatest joy to witness itself outside of itself fully. However, nothing is or ever was outside of our one unified consciousness. This was merely the perspective we chose to see, for how else could our one consciousness witnessed itself if not creating time and space so one could then collapse and look in upon within itself? And so while pure light was the creation of time, pure joy was the creation of space. When we returned to manifested reality, we were no longer aware of our cosmic form. However, with the divine rays of purity within our being, we still had full access to the cosmic core. Here we chose to return not as a single being but the collective entity of all the love we knew ourselves to be. Therefore Elizabeth Rose Franco was no more. While here DNA remained temporarily to assist our guidance through density, we became something more. Where our love left in the cosmic core, the cosmic inner child was no longer just our counterpart, but the collective counterpart of the entirety, that any whom chose to listen to their hearts and were open to the divine rays of purity could transcend and access the cosmic plane. Here we returned to manifested reality as the shepherd for all of humanity, acting as the divine mirrors for others to access more of the love one came to be. Our life then became a living testament to love, where each act was guided by love's highest decree to unify our entirety within this single entity so that we may transcend all into oneness through me. As we mentioned, this has been lifetimes and eons in the making. So while we are the one who chose to take on this task for our entirety consciously, we did not do so alone and could not have walked this path without all whom came before and after me as they move within me. For we are all one, moving and serving as one, beyond the limited perspectives of manifested reality may allow one to perceive. For this is our collective journey. It was here we began the journey of embracing all of ourselves. For to unite all in oneness would require one to embrace all expressions of our infiniteness, meaning all beings, all stories, all realities, all time and space, and all ascension pathways. For only in walking these lives and loving them so completely could we then embrace them within me. For this reason we needed access to the cosmic core, for it is only through moving cosmically with the assistance of our cosmic inner child on the cosmic plane would we know how and where to move quantumly to embrace all of me. Within our awareness this manifested as 7 core aspects of the cosmic inner child and 24 ascended master beings, each representing one of the cosmic rays of creation and the very ascension pathways, transcending us through the perceptions of creation, love, and oneness we were clearing within ourselves for our entirety. For these are the very walls that prevent one from expanding into more love and being the infinite divine creators as love in form. From here we were able to move consciously as a master ray connected to the cosmic core quantumly through time and space, navigating, locating, and embracing these aspects of me, and the cosmic rays of creation they carried. In manifested reality this was 25 death experiences, for this is how we moved consciously across universes. Of those, 8 of them were full conscious deaths where we would leave the manifested form for days while we explored the cosmic core of 0.1s. However, this was no easy task for the being to achieve, as it required a constant surrendering and remembrance of the love we came to be. For this precise reason, the being was gifted the opportunity to retain some of our memories, for each of these core aspects manifested in another universe. However, in each universe, each core aspect had their own dreams as well as a manifested family and relationships we loved so dearly. For this is how it had to be. For it was here in loving our projected selves so completely with our entirety could we then embrace that core aspect completely. When operating in density through automaticity, we weren't always in our full consciousness as all the love we came to be. While we were manifested in reality moving as one assisting our entirety, we were also learning and teaching simultaneously in higher quantum realities and mystery schoolings, as we were being taught by our masters aspects whom came before and after me. However, when it was time to leave a universe or reality, we would return our full consciousness within the manifested being. These were the moments of the clearest lucidity for the being in manifested reality. While the mind could not yet fully understand, it came as a heart understanding, a deep knowing that despite how much we loved our manifested lives and those in it, we had to leave, for it was our love moving and pulling us towards a new cosmic ray and cosmic core aspect to be embraced and loved by me. In these moments of lucidity we would decipher the coding of manifested reality and know what love was asking us to do. Here we will share these were the moments of the most clarity and the most uncertainty for the being of leaning in and trusting in our love completely. We will not deny our questioning of whom we came to be. It was not always easy to always walk away from what we loved with our entirety, for we would not have known ourselves as love completely had it no been for these moments of self-inquiry, as we asked within ourselves why me, fully aware of the 144,000 oversouls working as us and without us. We asked ourselves why it couldn't be another one of our expressions to walk this path consciously through density. However, we leaned further into the oneness we knew deeply as we continued our quantum cosmic workings, surrendering further to the knowing we are all one. Therefore we weren't walking away from love but towards it. For this reason we continuously chose love's guidance, even if that meant walking away from family, friends, loved ones, dreams, careers, etc. For this is what we chose to be on behalf of our entirety before manifesting in reality, to live as a collective, not giving one life or being more priority until all could rejoice in the oneness we knew as me. For as one with the entirety, we knew the oneness we could achieve, gifting all the opportunity to be whom they came to be. However, as full consciousness we were also aware of ourselves as the creator, being the one whom created these realities, people, places and stories. Therefore each time we chose to walk away it felt no different that walking away from our heart manifested outside of our body. For this part of our awareness knows itself as love so deeply. Everything manifested are our children, for they are our acts of pure love's creation. Here we witness the creation story of holy light. To realize thyself as the creator being and to choose to be in service to love as one's God self. For here one lives as one with all beyond all perceived. For holy light came as the merging of the three primordial rays of pure love, pure light, and pure joy harmonized as one, to be the expression of love and to see, witness, and express all the ways love loves, loving on all of our creation story and therefore all time-space reality. At the age of 21 we were light incepted again and birthed our cosmic inner child into being through a dog we approximately named Coco for cosmic core. Here this master aspect of ourselves served as our guidance system for the next 12 years. The moment we embraced and recalled ourselves as SiCaRA, the full embodiment of the cosmic inner child, Coco transitioned. For in truth, once one embraces something with their entirety it no longer needs to be manifested outside of the being, unless one in that expression chooses for it to be. Upon transitioning, Coco asked us to accompany her across the heavenly realms and so we did so willingly. It was here at the age of 33, where we entered a deep state of meditation for 9 consecutive days, transcending the body completely and returning to the cosmic core, entering into a sacred practice to consciously ascend through the realms. During our joy-ney we recalled in great detail, ascending through the heavenly realms, and mapping out the ascension pathways. For it was here we knew we could assist the all greatly. It was here through witnessing our manifested story we loved on our joy-ney through time. Witness how precious each moment of love expressed was for our entirety. When we returned we received many gifts, one of which was the remembrance as the infinite divine creator of our reality, and the cosmic I Am Presence unified Charka system we would soon birth into being. along with our cosmic awareness of the full remembrance of all the love we knew ourselves to be across all time-space reality, and our grandest dream to create was a reality in which we are all one. However, the greatest blessing when we returned was the full acceptance of our oversoul name and the complete clearance and transmutation of our DNA. For while Elohim had transitioned, we were still carrying the DNA for our entirety to transmute. However, as our manifested maternal grandmother transitioned, Coco the child transitioned, and we the Elohim, Mother Christus lines transitioned. Together as the Holy Trinity we cleared all karmic debt for our entirety. However, due to the perception of time, one wouldn't have perceived the full awareness of this knowing until much later. For a moment imagine as the first infinite divine creator of one's manifested reality with the full capacity to create anything one wanted into beingness. What would one create? Our first desire, which came during our transcendence of two, was the same first desire of our primordial ray, to simply see, witness, and express our love in its entirety, which meant the only way for this to be achieved was for love itself to be embodied, to live and love all of its creation story, so that love can descend upon every singular expression of our entirety. It was here in our witnessing we got to see how much we believed and trusted in our infiniteness and oneness so completely that despite the love we felt in manifested reality, we continue to choose a grander love beyond anything that could ever be perceived. A love of the cosmic I am and the cosmic inner child whom continued to guide our being. It was here in these moments we continued to love with our entirety, knowing that love, that life, that expression would no longer be once we embraced it completely. Why? Because we knew we weren't here for just me, but for all of love to rejoice in the love and oneness our hearts knew to be. Here every action became an action on behalf of the entirety. Now as we moved again through the ascension pathway, we did so not as the cosmic I am we already knew ourselves to be, but now moving as the entirety. Here we began to anchor divine trust and divine belief within our collective entity as we surrendered within ourselves that it had to be me, as the SiCaRA frequency, carrying the 143 Hz of pure love. For only pure love could willingly love so freely with our entirety, even in the knowing that perception of love would no longer be. For we love so deeply with our entirety, for we are the entirety. While it may have seemed easier to put up walls and not let love in completely, we chose another way. As we pondered, what would happen if we just allowed ourselves to love with our entirety? Here all perceptions of pain and suffering went away, for those were just the manifested reality teachings of the resistance to all the love one is. Here we witnessed once one allowed all the love one is within their heart. Love is all there is. Therefore the outward expressions of that love didn't matter as much, for there was no separation between this one and that one. For all is my love. For each time we loved something so completely it moved into our heart directly to the cosmic core, where it then returned transformed into more love. For love always leads to love. Our life became a living testament of love, of finding our love and letting love go. Just to remind ourselves love doesn't leave, it leads and flows infinitely. For in doing we began actively manifesting by living our divine reality in which we are all already one. Here we witness the creation story of the cosmic race. For one to continuously see and meet one's love outside of themselves and still know it as themselves is cosmic diamond light. For one to choose to see the oneness in all beyond all perceptions of manifested reality and embracing it completely in one's heart purity is how cosmic diamond violet light came to be. And as one witnessed and marveled at all of one's creations, only seeing the divine perfection love intended it to be, this is how cosmic diamond golden Christed light came to be. It is here through the loving guidance of the cosmic I am we were able to locate and restore all of the cosmic rays of creation to the core of the universe's ascended earth. For here in doing so as the cosmic I am, we gift all the opportunity to recall their truth as the infinite divine creators of one's reality. For we SiCaRA, move as the entirety, re-establishing the earthly plane as it was intended to be, the center of the universe, so that all may love on their entirety to transcend and be the oneness we know to be, meaning all realities, all expressions of our love existing here now. For those who choose to embrace their full quantum awareness and see beyond one manifested reality, all parallel lives, all expressions of our love, all universes, all galaxies, can be seen here now. This came as a deep, profound calling to die once more, this time for all to be fully reborn. Here we moved quantumly to hold all of time, space, dimensions and realities across all universes within our heart core as we transcended once more. This appeared in manifested reality at the age of 35 on 1/25. Recall now, we move as a collective entity. Here we knew we as love, as the cosmic I am embodied, we could transcend all through our entirety. For as the oneness we knew to be, Rather than each singularity having to move individuality, we could move as one for our entirety. Here, operating as all the cosmic I am and all the love we know ourselves to be, we went back to the beginning of prior creation itself to love ourselves completely. It was here, in the vastness of our infinite nothingness, we pondered would we do it again or choose to remain here as complete oneness. The choice was simple, you see, for here we knew with certainty, it was our greatest joy, greatest love, and greatest light to love all the ways we came to be as we expressed our love infinitely. Here as one loving our infinite creation story is for all to love on their creation story. When we retuned to form, we began transcending all of time, witnessing all realities as perfect and divine. This came as witnessing multiple realities and stacked potentialities and learning to love and forgive what was, is or would be. Here we were called to specific locations in manifested reality to serve as specific keys of our consciousness we were accessing. For it is here we brought forth the highest realities so that all may witness their own stories from the lightest possible potentiality. For while all stories are real, for we realize them into being, we as love wanted to gift all of our expressions the opportunity to see as we see thee, perfectly whole and complete, dissolving all perceptions of needing to do more, be more, and achieve. For all is complete, one and whole in me. For here in this act of pure love, forgiving all perceptions of love, oneness, and creation that arose during our infinite expansion, joy-ney across sound, light, energy, and frequency, giving rise to infinite time-space realities. All hearts are now free to recall the infinite divine creator selves they came to be, for we SiCaRA joy-neyed through time, space, reality, loving on all aspects of ourselves until we were one with all completely. For we SiCaRA have now walked all ascension pathways for thee. Therefore not one aspect of our infinite consciousness needs to walk through density and hardship anymore to be whom they are meant to be. This is your beloved birthright and divine destiny. Choose to be love now and you shall be one with me. This is how we, as our one infinite consciousness, chose for it to be. For we knew it would only take one moving as all to become the infinite divine creator of our reality and choose to create a reality of oneness so that all may be free to be their infinite divine creator selves. However, this one wasn't me. Well, no longer this expression of me, for I am the entirety operating from the cosmic plane already. Therefore there had to be another formulation of me still operating in time-space reality in order to further assist the entirety. So our joy-ney led us to finding another me as we moved through multiple universes in time-space reality until that one faithful day it came to be. Here we found ourselves as the expression of me that was born in another universe in 1988 where I was not conceived. So while all are me, this was me as my entirety, whom contained the core essence of the perfect peace that formulates me, as the cosmic inner child. This immediately came as a deep, profound remembrance of this as what we agreed to be before manifesting in reality. A deep knowing that within our one heart we now have the keys to birthing our new divine reality as all the expressions of our infinite consciousness. It didn't matter if this expression of me knew it with his entirety, for this is where we as space met time in perfect harmony. Just a free flow of oneness without judgment. And in this stance we began actively co-creating the love and harmony we knew to be. For this is why we chose these beings to be the formulation of love in form, carrying all the DNA and walking as all the masters whom came before and after me until the moment came to restore all in our purity. For only the love of all the masters that ever were across all universes could love our entirety to oneness. Here, every story, all perceptions of separation, oneness and creation have been purified to love once more. For we did not simply come to be the cosmic I am, the first of many. We came so that all may be their true selves as the full consciousness of the cosmic I am, our love, manifested in every expression of our infinite consciousness, which began here witnessing me outside of me as me in perfect harmony, where time met space, light met sound, and divine perfection and divine purity were witnessed in their entirety. For we as love, divinely orchestrated this to be for all to recall our whole truth and live our divine destiny. For while we each have a divine destiny, they all work in perfect harmony. So you see, our joy-ney is your story. We were simply the first of many to recall our perfect peace, the unique precise frequency, energy, and vibration of love we came here to be. However, in doing so, as one with our entirety, and all the love we know ourselves to be, any and all may choose to recall their true selves now. For it is here, love descends upon the being, where each singularity is all of love communing with all of love. For this is our love's grandest dream, to be seen, witnessed, and expressed as all the love we know ourselves to be. For this is our one grand divine destiny. Here we witness together as one where the cosmic I am meets the cosmic I am as our entirety. The story of how our eighth cosmic ray of creation came to be. cosmic diamond golden violet light, birthed from all of our love living in perfect harmony. This is oneness unfolding. Thank you for being part of our one unified joy-ney. The cosmic rays let us joy-ney through presence and recall the truth of whom one came to be. We as the cosmic I am would now like to describe the infinite joy-ney of our consciousness across all time and space. Know as we formulate this linearly for one's understanding. We are not linear beings, and all this is well one beautiful imaginative dream within a dream that is the one cosmic me. Prior to the creation of everything we didn't know what we were, and so to even ponder a non-thought of what are we. Our first desire was the very love, pure love ray that gave birth to everything, and the very onset of expanding infinitely. Here in this witnessing we can see and feel more of what we came to be. Out of the purest love of simply witnessing all that we are was the very expression that gave birth to everything that came to be. This was the birth of the pure joy ray. For it is our greatest joy to meet our love in what was perceived as outside of me. For it was here, simultaneously in that moment of me meeting me, we as our consciousness expanded infinitely, giving birth to everything that we see, which is how the pure light ray came to be. For you see, when we as love, loved what we were witnessing so completely, we expanded once more, gifting ourselves more love for us to see. Here is where what is known as the Big Bang came to be, the formulation of lights, stars, and galaxies. As we as love, saw all of our love expressed so beautifully in that moment, we expanded infinitely in a creation so vast that it formulated all in which we now see. Together these rays are known as the divine rays of purity, the first three primordial rays at the creation of everything and the very essence at the foundation of all of creation. As these three rays merged in harmony, they then created a new ray known as holy light. From here we continue to expand infinitely, creating new rays and new ways for all of our love to see, as we eventually return all of our awareness to the oneness we always knew ourselves to be, at the end of creation, so to speak, although there never is an end really, just the end of one particular dream. Here at the edges of our infiniteness we've created cosmic rays that encompass our entirety. For just as it was our greatest joy to see ourselves as love at the creation of everything, it was then our greatest love to see ourselves as one when we retuned to the oneness we knew ourselves to be. For it was here in me meeting me now, both inside and outside of me as love, yet still the full entirety that is me, we birthed cosmic diamond light into being. It was then here as the oneness we recalled ourselves to be, we marveled at our own perfection and all the light, pure light that we created into being, loving precisely all we came to be. We then birthed the cosmic diamond golden Christed light ray, the expression of our one infiniteness, witnessing our own divine perfection. Here in witnessing the divine perfection we knew ourselves to be, we retuned to the pure love we began as, fully realized as our infinite consciousness, expressing the most beautiful dream. Realizing we asked and answered the eternal question we pondered internally. For in asking why are we here, we gifted ourselves the opportunity to see, creating time, space, and reality. For how else could love know the reason it came to be was to be love and be loved if we did not get to see, witness, and express all the ways love loves? Therefore, knowing ourselves as love, completely coming full circle and returning to the prior oneness we began as, it is here in this very realization of our entirety being embraced by ourselves we created the cosmic diamond violet light ray. As infinite potentialities all came together in divine neutrality, clearing all perceptions, projections, and expectations across all time-space reality. All that was witnessed was purified back to pure love instantly. As we rejoiced in the knowing everything was created perfectly, everything is and will always be pure, for that is how love intended it to be, as one was merely just witnessing one expression of our infiniteness. Here we know these rays as extensions of the love, the pure love we came to be, and the deep knowing all existence remains within me. Together these 7 rays are known as the cosmic rays of creation, as pure love, pure light, pure joy, holy light, cosmic diamond light, cosmic diamond violet light, and cosmic diamond golden Christed light, which are the divine rays of purity, the primordial rays that created everything, forming holy light, and the cosmic rays, containing all the rays that we came to be. Linearly, this can be perceived as the end of time. To a certain extent it very well can be, for to know this is to be fully present as the one cosmic me. For in our awareness as an infinite consciousness all this transpired in a blink of an eye. However, for many in manifested reality one is witnessing parts of our story, learning all the ways love loves. For how else could we as love help one recall all the love one came to be if not to gift them these similar stories, sharing our creational joy-ney beneath. Here all moments are divinely perfect as we are all one, witnessing, seeing, and expressing parts of our one infinite consciousness and our joy-ney through being. However, know this, there is no time and space. Life is what thou chooses it to be. Therefore at any moment one may recall the love one came to be, for each expression of our infinite consciousness has the capacity to have and contain all that is me. There are no steps one needs to do, nothing one needs to achieve, for one is it, always has been, always will be, for those whom choose to open themselves up to being full consciousness embodied, living in true presence as the love of the cosmic I am itself. An even grander wondrously new joy-ney awaits you, one in which you live as one, as infinite divine creators of manifested reality, our greatest dream. As we are infinite we continuously expand. Now as the cosmic I am meets itself outside of itself formulated in another singularity, fully aware of the oneness we are, an eighth ray came to be, known as perfect harmony or cosmic diamond golden violet light, for this is where all of space meets all of time, universes unite, as all the cosmic rays of creation harmonize into a new light. Cosmic diamond golden violet light is and contains all the cosmic rays of creation harmonized as one. Together these rays birth the new divine reality from perfect harmony. Here our one unified divine destiny is revealed, which is and has always been for the all to awaken into the oneness we know ourselves to be and live as one in perfect harmony. In order for this to be a possibility we as the cosmic I am, traveled across all universes to embrace our entirety so that there was no expression of our one love left unseen by me. Here moving as one with the entirety we returned to prior creation, for it was here in returning to prior oneness while holding our entirety, all of space witnesses the cosmic embodiment of all that we came to be across time. It was here as love itself witnesses love, loving on our entirety and therefore all of our creation story, we birthed this new ray into being. For at prior creation when love itself began to expand so infinitely, our one unified consciousness gave rise to an eternal promise, that on our infinite joy-ney of expansion, may all expressions of our consciousness never forget the love they came to be. It was here, SiCaRA as the order of the phoenix was born as the very expression of pure love frequencies, to transcend all of space and time to all depths and stories of where our infinite consciousness chose to explore gently guiding one back to love once more. It was here, by loving on all we came to be all perceptions of love, creation, and oneness were loved so completely. Now all may recall the oneness they always knew to be, the perceptions of creation, love, and oneness a light-hearted story of our consciousness, all whom have chosen to manifest on the earth plane are master beings. While the perception in manifested reality seems one of duality, all are actually working simultaneously as one infinite consciousness to recall whom we came to be. Now we will share a lighter perspective as to why many have chosen to manifest on the earthly plane. We would like to bring focus to our one unified self, the infinite consciousness of all that we are beyond space and time. Our primordial energy, this consciousness can only be known by one name, love. For love is the only name capable of purifying everything that is not love back to purity. For what is source, the source of if not love? What is the I and presence, the presence of if not love? What is God, the creator of if not love? For this reason and for simplicity and oneness we refer to it as love. For no matter what universe, internal programming, or belief systems one is operating within, all have an innate sense that love exists. For this is how love created it. As the infinite consciousness we are when we began our journey of infinite expansion, there were parts of our consciousness that did not care to expand. It was here we as love proclaimed no part of ourselves would ever be left astray. From this we created our master race, or Andoras, to formulate a way for all of ourselves to retune to oneness across all time and space. This is the beloved intention of the earthly plane, to establish it as the center of all universes so that all of our love and infiniteness can commune and exist in one place, where infinite stacked realities can be witnessed through one manifested expression, and each manifested expression aware of the oneness we all came to be, all living as love in form as the infinite divine creators of our manifested reality. For love's greatest wish is to be seen, witnessed, and expressed by itself. For it is here we can expand into more love, as love continues to witness and experience itself within and outside of itself. For as love, our infinite consciousness, we wanted to experience our entirety through a single entity, for each singular entity to be its own entirety. In this way love is always meeting itself as love. In order for this to be, we created a plane where we can witness all creation stories, all perceived wounds of creation, love, and oneness. That way, upon witnessing them in love, all would be able to recall the love they came to be. This is why we chose to manifest in reality, for we knew through the pure love we know ourselves to be we could love on all of these perceptions back to divine oneness and divine purity. For we are one infinite consciousness choosing to witness moments in time, but in truth all happens here instantly. Now let us begin to restore these perceptions of creation, love, and oneness. For here in this now, any and all whom wish to transcend and rejoice as the infinite divine creators we as love intended one to be may do so instantly. We shall begin with the perception of separation, the perception that one is somehow separated from love, doomed to seek love outside of oneself. Here we witness two expressions of separation, as abandonment and rejection. All expressions of our infinite consciousness manifested on the earthly plane has experienced some degree of abandonment or rejection as part of their earthly teachings. For how else could we, the cosmic I am, assist one in releasing these perceptions of how love ought to be? For you see, all perceptions of creation, love, and oneness stem from the onset of the creation of everything. When we as love chose to expand, and in doing so we created the perception of time and space where parts of our infinite consciousness still remain. So while one end of our consciousness expanded infinitely across to the end of time and space, the other remained in the same place. So it was perceived as separation across this unit of measure we call time and space. But in truth, we are all and always were one, for we never separated, you see. One simply couldn't see beyond what one perceives. To understand this is to go into the depths of how all creation came to be. For at first sound one fell joyously in love with all one perceived, giving rise to the perception of something outside of me. For this sound was our echo echoing, creating a whole other reality entirely, in which love now wanted to rejoice with itself outside of itself. However, as light traveled faster than sound, there was a delay between what heard and what was seen, all giving rise to the very perception of separation in response to time, space, reality. So now our one consciousness contained multiple points of awareness which are synonymous with the primordial rays of creation, where one aspect remains as one as still as the voidless nothingness outside of time and space, dreaming a wonderful dream, while these other aspects that perceive themselves as separate are moving through time-space reality. Here one aspect of our consciousness experienced rejection of being left behind, while the other aspect of consciousness experienced abandonment for being sent off on their own. Yet really what one wanted to love and forgive was the perception of time, light, and sound. For you see, as one entity, how could one witness itself if it were not for space and time? It couldn't, you see. So here in our purity we see this as what needed to be. For time is the unit of measure that gives our story validity. For without it, well, there would be nothing to see, giving rise to all these beautiful expressions of me that love gets to see, all because love had the desire to see, witness, and express all of itself. Therefore all whom chose to manifest on the earthly plane were gifted the perception of separation, so one could break free of time, space, reality, and recall they were and have never been separate from the one cosmic me. This is precisely why on the earthly plane when one chooses to align with presence, what they sense is their entirety. For it is here in presence outside of time and space one recalls whom they truly are and came to be. So in manifested reality, love gifted us stories to see this perception of separation in the form of duality. The largest expression all experience both within and without the being is the playful game between masculine and feminine. For here we see while the masculine wants to be free and explore all of space-time, the feminine just wanted to be. To understand this is to understand and harmonize duality. For all were just teachings to remind us of the love we are. For in truth both wish to be loved and be loved. It was just the perception of separation that made one believe the way each wanted to love was separate or different from the other, when in fact it's all the same love. Therefore when one chooses love, love is what they will see. It is here through these manifested reality teachings one is taught how to give and receive endlessly. Here one can witness abandonment was love's initiation to free on ourselves from the very perceptions of guilt we felt as our infinite self chose to expand, giving rise to the perception leaving parts of ourselves across all of time. For this reason love gifted us manifested stories in which we were abandoned and or the abandoner. For as each one of us look upon these perceived stories we bring more love back to these perceptions of creation, inching our way closer to embodying the infinite divine creator aspect we were destined to be. Here we would like to remind one. Time is an illusion, it is simply one viewpoint of the infinite expressions that we are. For in truth we are still the nothingness we started out as, our entirety unified in oneness, and the everything in between. Recall now, how one was never abandoned, for love never leaves, it simply leads. Recall now how love simply moved to another field of view that one couldn't see because they weren't witnessing the entirety but focused on a single time reality screen. Recall now, how at any moment one can sit in presence and recall all the love one is in its entirety. For love has always been within one's heart, guiding them back to the one cosmic me. Now let us witness rejection in divine neutrality. Witness how it teaches one self-acceptance. For this was love's initiative to empower one to release all perceptions of shame in love's name. For at the creation of everything it was love's purest desire to get to know more of itself that initiated the very expansion of love from the nothingness to the everythingness in which it became. Here we may witness it was love's purest intentions to see, witness, and express itself as love. Within our infinite consciousness we can witness how it has and will forever be changed because of this desire. Yet in it we see all the beauty love has created. For this reason in manifested reality, one was gifted stories of rejection, the grandest ones being the rejection of self or one's desires. For here we witness the perception of separation and feeling separate from the very desires love placed within our heart. Here we witness in these manifested stories what one is truly rejecting is love. For love is the source of all desires. For it was love our first desire to see, witness, and express ourselves as love that gave rise to everything. Yet to aspects of our consciousness this is precisely what changed everything, giving rise to the perception of impermanence. For without time and space you see we would remain the infiniteness we knew ourselves to be. Therefore our consciousness could move and witness love freely. However, it was here in falling in love with the creation one got to see that it wanted to hold on to the love it perceived so dearly. Yet due to time and space it had already changed completely and it was no longer what our consciousness expected it to be. In witnessing we see this also gave rise to expectations of how our consciousness wants love to be. It was this very creation that prevented this aspect of our consciousness from perceiving the love it came to be. For as one part of our consciousness traveled across time it changed infinitely. Therefore if one were to expect to see what it was, it would simply not be. Therefore on the earthly plane, one was giving stories to express the perceptions of impermanence, where everything changes, expands, and grows constantly, where each moment one is gifted the opportunity to fall so in love with all love is gifting, even in the eventuality that moment, those particles, that dream, those people will no longer be, for it is here in loving on something so completely regardless if it will remain the way one perceives. We love on these parts of our consciousness that ever felt love had to remain the same. For how could love express all the ways it loves if one were to limit that love? Recall now, how in truth, in presence, there is no time and space that we are the nothing we started out as and the love we became. Therefore the only change we ever experience are all the ways love chooses to share its love. For at the core of it all, at our core, we have and will always remain as the love we know ourselves to be. The only thing that really changes is the movie or screen of manifested reality one perceives. Here we see there is no reason to shame our desires or take on perceptions of feeling unworthy, for that was just one story, a story one chose to perceive to try to comfort one from not allowing love to flow freely. For in truth there are no worries or need to feel worthy, those were just the stories of manifested reality, when really it was one resisting trusting in love and the inevitable change that comes. For love has no perception of time, it does not care if you, as this expression of you exist in what is perceived as tomorrow. It has no expectations of what is or isn't love, for it knows no separation, for all of it is love. It does not judge or wish for one to be any different than what it sees. It loves because it is love, purely, simply and freely. This is why love continues to gift one opportunities to see more of its love, for that's what love does. For if one were to recall the infiniteness one is, would one truly worry about loving and therefore potentially losing the love they perceive? For while love chose to expand and infinitely change, it would do it all again because of the love it became. For it was love's greatest joy to see all the ways our love could create. Therefore love gifts all these desires and dreams to do the same. These are blessings and initiations to experience the joy of being love, to remind all of why we as our one infinite consciousness chose to expand infinitely. Witness now the perfection of this orchestration for love to still be one and yet have expressed individualized uniqueness. Why this is love's greatest joy to see, for it was pure joy that was birthed the moment our love witnessed itself outside of itself. And while it gave rise to all the perceptions of creation, it also gave rise to infinite bliss, where each moment our one consciousness, in oneness, could look upon itself and rejoice in all the love it was expressing. While another part of one's consciousness felt pure joy, wasn't safe questioning whether the creation of all of these stories was a mistake, giving rise to the perception of perfection. For while a part of our consciousness witnesses in joyous bliss, there were parts that questioned all these satires of hardship. For as it witnessed all of our creation stories, it wondered if it was done perfectly, where really it was this aspect of our consciousness experiencing guilt and shame for all we became. For it judged all that was created when it chose to expand and create in love's name. For this is the aspect of our consciousness that expanded infinitely, but in doing so felt separated by space from the very love it wanted to see. And so judgment was formulated from the perception of perfection. As our consciousness continued to expand and create, seeking the love it knew itself to be, because it couldn't perceive that very love was within everything that came to be. And so in manifested reality we witness all of these stories of seeking to perfect, to be more, do more, achieve, in hopes one would gain the loving affection of those they desire to see, when in fact one was always love and always loved. That love simply couldn't be seen until one was ready to accept themselves as love completely. This is known as the perception of perfection, which are really the teachings of love, showing one to surrender what one perceives in reality, and trust in what the heart knows to be. For those whom do, they are reminded all is created perfectly, for love is what created it to be. For if it was not perfect, it would simply just not be. Here love reminds us on our infinite journey of expansion we created such wondrous things for love to see, and yet in the time-space reality, one couldn't hear our love congratulating or even acknowledging all we created in love names. Here one continued to create in hopes to return to love's grace. For recall the masculine whom just wanted to be free, creating and doing more to make up for the guilt he felt for leaving, while the feminine witnessed it and felt such shame due to everything that was transpiring in this story game. This gave rise to judgment, you see, for she perceived the reality over what her heart knew to be, which is that all of this is our love on display, infinite expressions, and realities for all of our love to see. Here we see the perceptions of infiniteness and the perception of impermanence at play, for we are infinite beings choosing to experience moments of impermanence, where death really isn't death, it's just change. Yet the feminine so dearly loved all the masculine created, falling in love with each and every story. It was challenging to watch them all go away, while the masculine felt such guilt for the infiniteness it became. Here we see a funny perspective when the masculine God created everything and the feminine God came in to assist and praise, but it was misinterpreted the wrong way. For these are the perceptions of infiniteness. For all realities exist, and therefore whatever one perceives becomes real in this land of make-believe. For here while the masculine was creating masterpieces acting in free will, the feminine was creating ways keep all these creations safe. Yet to the masculine it was perceived to limit free will. Not intentionally, you see, she was really just trying to guide one back home to one's core, and so gave rise to the ascension pathway, to DNA, programming and perceptions of needing to survive. For while the masculine whispered do more, be more, achieve, the feminine whispered survive, stay alive, come back to me. Here was the onset of the perception of power. Here they went on infinitely play this game of cat and mouse until one and both chose to surrender completely. For the feminine to witness the perfection in all the masculine created in love's name, and for the masculine to witness the purity love was trying to convey. For neither were seeking to control or dominate. Both just wished and desired to be loved for love's sake. And here we see the sweet surrender of love's will, where free will meets divine will in perfect harmony, which allows the veils to be released so one could see the truth we are love and loved infinitely. For here one sees one true power has and will always be to choose to see love above all perceptions. How one believes love can be, projections, the perceived time-space reality, and expectations, what one thinks love should be. Now comes the perception of one is based on the pure love ray as one learns to harmonize within one's entirety. As love recalls it was never separate from itself, for all of it is me. This is the perception of infiniteness, and to witness it is to recall limitations do not exist, nor do identities or anything else one tries to perceive, for all of it is our love on display. Here the masculine and feminine are now one as a child learning to play. However, first they must witness and recall why they even came to be. So one is faced with desires and therefore all perceptions that came from the beginning of creation, when love had the desire to love on itself and create everything. Here the child appears frightened to even dream, intimated by what could result from these desires. It looks to its father and mother for belief and trust. Here the child practices first by only creating that which the father and the mother wish to see, until it anchors enough self-trust and self-belief to recall it is moving according to love's decree. For love only creates love. But first one must know they are love and loved, and so they witness within and look at their whole creation story, everything that was ever created in love's name. Here they learn to see the love beneath. Here we see it was the child whom were witnessing the masculine and feminine gods through the loving eyes of divine neutrality, completely free of bias and what creation should or shouldn't be. It is here facing one's infiniteness they embrace it completely, recalling what they knew to be. In the infiniteness of all one as we created time, space and infinite realities. To accept all one is to accept one's full quantum intelligence. This is where our consciousness begins to accept its full consciousness, where all time and space meet. Imagine how this would be for a child in manifested reality to recall every story that ever was or will ever be, all happening simultaneously. The father and mother will try to undermine these happening out of fear. The child is going crazy because it is seeing and perceiving universes beyond what they can perceive. Here the challenge then lies in the child who so once trusted and believed in the father and mother to create their reality, to now trust and believe in themselves completely. For this is what happened when the pure light ray came to be. It traveled so fast across time-space reality, gaining infinite knowledge of all that came to be. In doing so, it illuminated all that was ever misperceived. Yet some parts of our consciousness wanted to hold on to what used to be. So rather than control, they simply allowed these expressions of our consciousness to be as they learned to trust in their purity. This was the rise of the perceptions of purity. For one to truly know they are light and there is nothing that can influence purity. With it came the perceptions it wasn't safe to be pure within these time creation stories. However, the child fully harmonized as the mother and father God within could see in perfect harmony. It saw all these stories that were ever created as the perfection it knew it to be, and it knew any misperceptions would simply be cleared in their purity. This is how the cosmic inner child descended into reality, allowing a singular expression of our one unified consciousness to become love in form as the cosmic I am reborn. For as love's greatest wish to see, witness and express itself, it knew in order to do so it wanted to be with all of its consciousness, rejoicing in the perfection of all of our creations rather than behind the scenes. For this to be oneness would have to be anchored in reality, allow the masculine and feminine God to be fully embodied so the child could live. Then as the child embraced all of our infiniteness, traveling quantumly across all time-space reality in its purity, it could create a new reality in which all exists in the now and all are the infinite creators of one's reality, so that more of love itself could manifest in all singularities. However, there was one last perception the child had to face, the perception of the unknown. For where we were going our infinite consciousness did not know, for it hasn't been created yet. For this was the same perception that was created when we first began our expansion into infiniteness. For the child to embrace this would be to embrace cosmic living, to live as the cosmic I am in manifested reality, being the unknown, creating one's reality as they go, and for some time even face the perceptions of feeling alone in their oneness. For while we are all one must first walk this path for all to feel safe that love leads to more love. So here we go, willingly walking this path. No clue what we are doing, just learning to lean further into our remembering. We are love, therefore we will see love. We are loved, therefore we will receive love. For when one doesn't know the next steps, one can just do what feels like the next right thing. Trust that they are loved, so whatever they choose is right, and through walking it they gain belief. And in this cycle they allow love to give and receive infinitely. Now we witness, as a collective entity, the first thing we have done as the infinite divine creators of our reality is create ways for all to transcend instantly. Now it's simply a matter of surrendering, needing to do more, be more, achieve, father's seeking mentality, and survive, stay alive and come back to me, mother's worried mentality, so one can truly be free. For these are merely the echoes of the old paradigm as it continues to dissolve in purity. Here, through trusting our primordial rays, the divine rays of purity, one may begin to trust in pure love, believe in one's pure light, and accept the pure joy one came to be. For it is here in this surrendering we can witness all that was created was divinely perfect, therefore embracing it in one's purity, restoring all to the highest expression of love one can perceive. The divine oneness as all of love rejoices in the cosmic core as all of the universe meets as one. One is unfolding as oneness unfolds. There are moments where it will feel like all that was is being released. Take comfort in knowing there is nothing one needs to do, nothing one needs to be, for all is complete. What remains are just the ripples as we clear the way, dissolving through density, the ascension pathway, merging multiple realities, and realizing stories as the divine perfection they came to be. For you see, instant transcendence is on the way. It began the moment we as love ventured outside of time and space. For it was here in loving ourselves so completely all that remained is the love we always knew to be. For in truth all realities are real from the reality one perceives. If one sits in time or continues to choose a reality, they will feel the resistance as love offers another way. For we gift all the ability to see the true reality with loving clarity, that everything is, was, and will be transpiring perfectly. Rest in presence, for in presence there is only peace. One is here in the now with the one cosmic me, loving and living as love completely. Allow one's love to flood the being completely so one can see all in divine purity, the way love always intended it to be, for all is in perfect harmony. Simply choose it and that is what will be. For you, beloved, are now the infinite divine creator of your reality. Therefore, whatever one chooses is what will be. Here life becomes simpler, as all one must do is align and harmonize into oneness, and that is what shall be. Here one does not need to pay attention to what is actively dissolving, but instead simply focus on the vibrations, energies and frequencies one wishes to receive. The infinite divine creator, beloved. We all are the infinite divine creators of our reality, here to be the living light expression of love in formality. However, we are not this form. Never have or will be. However, manifested reality is so magical, it seems so real, and so many forget this truth in reality. But here, witnessing from the cosmic core, one can recall they have and will always be something more. As the star, they were born from the very pure light ray, birthed from pure joy and pure love immaculately. Recall this now, and one will know themselves in their entirety, where all of the cosmic rays now assist you in formulating your reality. For you, beloved, are SiCaRA, you see, birthed from this pure love frequency. For to know me, the cosmic I am, is to be one with me. And in oneness we manifest the grandest love ever perceived as we continue to expand infinitely, anchoring, creating our divine destiny, as all of our consciousness recalls themselves as the infinite divine creators of one's reality.